Good morning, dear students. Today in our physics class, we will discuss about a very important component of electronic circuit, that is capacitor and capacitance. We will understand the principle of usage of the capacitors. So what is a capacitor? Capacitor is a basic electronic device which is used to store electrical charges. Or we can say a capacitor, originally known as condenser, is used to store energy electrostatically in an electric field. It means it stores energy in the form of electric field. How a capacitor can store energy in the form of electric field, we will understand this with the help of an example. Look at this image. Have you ever watched an ancient war movie? This is a stone throwing weapon and it is used in a war. We might be able to compare a capacitor with a normal spring. In this machine, what happened? Firstly, a spring. This is the spring and the spring collapsed. Then we stretched or pull the spring out like this, outward. Spring will stretched out. It means we are giving energy to the spring by pulling this rope. We are giving energy to this spring and this energy is stored in the spring. After that, when we release it, spring will collapse back to the original state due to the elasticity. It causes the stone to eject it out. This stone is thrown out. So in this way we provide energy. It stored in spring in the form of restoring energy, and after that due to this energy, this stone that is placed over here is thrown out. So from here we can conclude that in this elasticity property of the spring is used to store the energy. But in case of capacitors, charges are used to store the energy in the form of electric field. So in this way we can compare this a stone throwing weapon with capacitor. Next is the basic capacitor structure. A capacitor is made up of two conductors. These are the two conducting plates. Just wait. These are the two conducting plates. These are separated by a dielectric material. By dark blue color, it is shown in the figure. These dielectric material are in the form of plates which can accumulate charges. Means dielectric have a special property that the charges, it can store charges. And in these plate, D is the distance, A is the area of each plate, and one plate carry positive charge and other plate carry equal amount of negative charge. So this is the basic capacitor structure. Now symbol of capacitor. There are two types of capacitor. One is non-polarized and other is polarized. In case of non-polarized capacitor, it is represented by two equal parallel lines. And in case of polarized, a straight line is used to represent the positive side, that is positively polarized, and other curved line is used to show the other side of the capacitor. Now let us understand the principle of working of a capacitor. So to understand this, you have to consider a conducting plate A which is having charge Q, potential V, and capacitance of this plate A is given by C is equals to Q by V. So when another conducting plate B is brought near to A, negative charge induces on the plate B on the side which is near to A, and positive charge is induced on the plate B to the other side. So negative charge will decrease the potential of A and positive charge will increase the potential of A. But the negative charge on B is nearer to A as compared to the positive charge. So the net effect is that the potential of A ultimately decreases. And hence we can say capacitance of A increases. If B is earth, then the positive charge is get neutralized, but potential on A further decreases, and in this way the capacity of plate A increases very much. The capacitance depends on the geometry of the conductor and nature of medium. A capacitor is a device for storing electrical charges. So in this way it works. Next is the charging and discharging of capacitor, and we will compare it with the help of an example. See how. Consider a water pipe with water flowing in it. The water continues to flow till wall is open. However, if there is a tank, it will store the water and we can take water supply from the lower opening, so that after some time the tank is empty. Once the tank is filled again, we can again get water supply by opening and closing the valve as many times as we like. So we can get undisturbed water supply by filling tank again before the tank is empty. So we can compare charging capacitor with the water tank source. Now how it happens in case of our circuit, let me to show you this thing. In order to better understand working of capacitor, we have an experimental setup. In this experimental setup, we can see how charging and discharging process will perform in the capacitor. When the capacitor is connected to a circuit with supply voltage source, this is the supply voltage source, two processes which are called charging and discharging of capacitor will happen in specific conditions. So now let us first understand the charging process. So when we connect key K in position A, so the capacitor is connected to the power supply and current flow through the circuit in this way. Both the plates of the capacitor get the equal and opposite charges, plus Q and minus Q, and the potential difference Vc start increasing while the capacitor is charging. Once the voltage at the terminal of capacitor Vc is equal to the supply voltage, that is V is equal to Vc, this V is equals to Vc. The capacitor is fully charged and the current stops now flowing through the circuit. This completes the charging phase. Now let us understand about discharging. In the next step, when we replace the key K from position A to position B, the capacitor will start discharging. When key K connect to position B, this bulb will glow. Intensity of bulb and the voltage between the capacitor plates drop gradually to zero, which complete the discharging phase. So in this way, we can see how charging and discharging of the capacitor takes place. Unique characteristic of capacitor. There are some unique characteristics that it carries. First one is the store the electric current. It can store for a time, and when we require that, we can use it. Like in previous slide, we see how we can use it for a bulb. Second one, block DC current not passing it. So wherever we want to block DC, we can use the capacitors. and allow AC current to flow through it, because it is depend upon the polarity, and AC current, alternating current, it also depend upon the polarity. Firstly, for half cycle it is positive, and for next half cycle it is negative. Next term is the capacitance. So what is capacitance? Capacitance is the effect of capacitor, or we can say capacity to store the charge. So if we are denoting capacitance by C, and Q is the charge and V is the voltage, so we can express it as C is equals to Q upon V. So this C will give you the capacity of that conductor or that capacitor. Now let us calculate the dimensions of the capacitance, as the formula of C is Q upon V. Q upon V. So we know, and potential, Q is the charge, V is the potential, and potential can be represented at work done per unit test charge. So by putting this value of V over here, so we will get that Q is equal to W upon Q, and this is equal to Q square upon W. So as now we have to put the dimensions of Q and W. W is the work, and work is the amount of energy. So we can put the dimensions of energy in place of the dimensions of work, and we know that current is equals to charge per unit time. So the dimensions of current is ampere, and we want to find the dimensions of Q, and the dimensions of time is capital T. So from here we get that dimension of Q is A T. So here in place of Q we can put the dimension of Q AT as Q square. So here is square. So by rearranging these terms we will get the dimensions of capacitance is M minus 1 L minus 2 T4 A2. So this is the dimensions of capacitance. Units of capacitance. So in SI system of units, the unit of capacitance is farad, and it is represented by symbol F. This unit is largely named after the physicist, that is Michael Faraday. Michael Faraday gives the unit of capacitance. So on the name of this physicist, the unit of capacitance is farad. And another unit of capacitance we can find from the relation, that is Q is equal to CV. As we want to find the unit of C, so from here C is equals to Q upon V, and the unit of charge is coulomb, and the unit of V voltage, so its unit is volt. So coulomb per volt is the another unit of the capacitance. So SI unit is farad, and from the formula, that is Q is equals to CV, the unit is coulomb per volt. Now there are different type of capacitors. Some are parallel plate capacitors, some are spherical, some are cylindrical. So capacity of each type of capacitor is different. So firstly we will find the capacitance of parallel plate capacitor. Parallel plate capacitor consists of two plates plus Q charge on one and minus Q charge on another, and area of both the plates is A, same area, and D is the separation between the plates. So the capacitance of this parallel plate capacitor is C is equals to Q upon V. By putting the value of Q and V over here, we will find that capacitance is ultimately equals to epsilon naught A upon D. A is area, D is distance, epsilon naught. Here epsilon naught is a constant, and this constant is called as permittivity, and the value of permittivity is 8.85 into 10 raised to power minus 12 farad per meter. So how this formula we can derive? Let me to explain this in next slide. as we want to find capacitance C, that is equals to Q upon V. So we need to find out the value of Q and V. Q is the charge. So basically our aim is to find V. So to find V, firstly we will write the relation of electric field that we have already derived in our Gauss theorem, that is electric field due to two sheets is given as sigma upon epsilon naught. Here sigma is the surface charge density. Sigma is the surface charge density and is given by charge per unit area. So here we can put the value charge per unit area and epsilon naught will remain as it is. Now my main aim is to find V. So V is equals to E into D. So you can put the value of E here, Q upon A epsilon naught and D as it is. So to find capacitance Q upon V, divide this, Q will be cancelled by Q and you will left with A epsilon naught upon D. So this is the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitors. Next is the which factor affect capacitance. As formula that we have already derived is C is equals to epsilon naught A upon D. So there are three factors that will affect the capacitance. First one is area, second one is the distance between the plates, and epsilon naught. Epsilon naught is basically the medium that is in between the plates. It may be some dielectric, and if it is epsilon naught means air is in between our plates of capacitors. The variant that makes the value of capacitor more and less have three things as follow. First one is the area. So as C is directly proportional to area, so capacitance will increase if area of plates is increased, as it is directly proportional to area. Second factor is the distance. So distance between the plate, as it is inversely proportional, if distance is greater, more is the distance, so capacitance will be less. So capacitance will reduces. And third one is the dielectric, change in the dielectric substance. So epsilon naught will give you the information that is the medium between our plates. Now let us solve a numerical based on the parallel plate capacitor. A parallel plate capacitor has a square, shape is square, plate of side 5 cm and separated by a distance of 1 mm. So here side is given to you. Side A is given to you 5 cm and I can write it as 0.05 meter. And distance between the plates D, that is given to you 1 millimeter. So as we want to find in first case, calculate the capacitance of the capacitor. So C, you have to find C. C is given by epsilon naught A upon D. So means you have to find out the area first. So side is given to you and you can find out the area by formula side square. So from here you will get that area is 25 into 10 raised to power minus 4 meter square. And also we have to convert this distance into SI unit of distance, that is meter. So this is equals to milli. Milli means 10 raised to power minus 3 meter. So simply, and now you can put these values here, and epsilon naught is given to you 8.85 into 10 raised to power minus 12 Newton meter square, Coulomb minus 2. So let me to put these values here, 8.85 into 10 raised to power minus 12. Now area is 25 into 10 raised to power minus 4 divided by distance. Distance is 1 into 10 raised to power minus 3. By solving this, you will find out that the capacitance is 22.12 into 10 raised to power minus 12 farad. And 10 raised to power minus 12 is also called as picofarad. So you can write it as 22.12 picofarad. So this is for first part. Now in second part they are asking that if a 10-volt battery is connected, means now V is given to you. V is 10 volt. So what is the charge stored in any one of the plates? So now you have to find, this is your part A, and in B part you have to find out Q, and Q is equals to CV. So capacitance that we have calculated is 22.12 into 10 raised to power minus 12 into voltage. Voltage is 10 volt into 10. So from here charge is 221.2 into 10 raised to power minus 12 coulomb. So in this way you can find out the capacitance and charge. Now the next type of capacitors is spherical capacitor, and the capacitance of an isolated spherical conductor is C is equals to 4 pi epsilon naught R. How can we find this? Simple, as capacitance is given as Q upon V. We know this formula to find out the capacitance. So here Q is the charge that is on our sphere. Now V is given as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Put this value of V here. So we can put this value here, and Q will be cancelled by Q, and you will left with only 4 pi epsilon naught R. So from here you can see that capacitance of a spherical capacitor depends upon the radius, because 4 pi epsilon naught is a constant, so it is directly proportional to radius. More is the radius, more is the capacitance. Less is the radius, less is the capacitance. So radius is the factor that affects the capacitance of a spherical capacitor. Now next is the capacitance of earth. We generally consider that the shape of our earth is spherical, and as earth is a conductor, so we can find out the capacitance of earth. So formula for spherical capacitor is 4 pi epsilon naught into R. Epsilon naught is a constant and its value is 1 divided by 9 into 10 raised to power 9. So R is the radii, and the radii of the earth is 6400 kilometer, and we can write this value as 6.4 into 10 raised to power 6 meter. So by putting this value of 4 pi epsilon naught and R here, we can calculate that capacitance of earth is 0.711 into 10 raised to power minus 3 farad, or we can convert it into microfarad. Microfarad is 10 raised to power minus 6. So 711 microfarad is the capacitance of our earth. Now let us solve one more example that is based upon the spherical conductors or capacitors. In the statement it is given that diameter of a spherical conductor is 1 meter. So here diameter D. Just wait. Diameter D is given to you 1 meter, and you have to find out the capacity. And you know that formula for capacity is 4 pi epsilon naught into R. So this is diameter that is given to you. From here you can find out the radius, and radius is equals to diameter upon 2, half of diameter. So this is equals to 1 upon 2 meter. So this is the value of your radius, and you know the value of constant 4 pi epsilon naught is 9 into 10 raised to power 9. So put both the values over here, you will get the capacitance. So 1 upon 9 into 10 raised to power 9 into 1 by 2, that is equals to 1 upon 18 into 10 raised to power minus 9. So by solving this you will find out that 55.5 55.5 into 10 raised to power minus 12 farad is the capacity of a spherical conductor having the diameter 1 meter. And we can convert again it into picofarad, because 10 raised to power minus 12 meter is equals to pico. This is equals to pico if we are measuring in meter, and as now it is in farad, so now you can write it as 55.5 picofarad. So this is about spherical conductors and parallel plate conductors that store the charges. So thank you class. If there is any doubt in these two topics, you can ask me in our next class. Thank you.